Hi and welcome back. I'm very excited today because I'm going to make one of my favorite dishes from my days at the Taj Coromandel in this restaurant called Southern Spice. We had this hit dish on the menu and it was called Kodi Vepudu. Now, this is a dish from Andhra Pradesh. So, Kodi is chicken and Vepudu is a dry dish. So, I have a variation to this though. We're going to do something called Kodi Methi Vepudu, which means we're going to flavor it with some fresh fenugreek leaves. So this is my version of Kodi Methi Vepudu. So we start the dish with a little bit of oil, taking around 75 ml of oil. And while the oil is getting hot, we're going to quickly do a little treatment to the methi leaves. Here I have 2 tablespoons of yogurt, and I will add a spoon of salt to it, and I will slightly mix it up. Okay, and in this little cup I have put approximately 1 tablespoon of Kasuri Methi, which is dried methi leaves, and I'm going to soak this Kasuri Methi now. And at the same time, I'm also going to take all these fenugreek leaves and I'm going to soak them in this yogurt water. What this does is, it takes out all the bitterness from the fenugreek leaves. Okay, we start with 5 cardamoms. We add a few sticks of cinnamon. And so the reason we add these garam masalas right in the beginning is because the most aromatic flavors of these masala are fat soluble. So the masala flavors go into the oil. We just have to allow the masalas to swell a little bit, and then we add the onions. Now here I have taken 400 grams of chicken, just enough for 1 portion of Kodi Vepudu, and here I have 2 onions, medium size, which should be approximately 200 grams of onions. We're going to saute this onions for approximately 4 to 5 minutes until it is nice golden brown. It's been 4 minutes. The onion is getting crispy, and that's a sign that it's getting close to getting brown. This dish has a small history and story to this. You know, while I was at the Leela Palace, Bangalore, I was taught this variation of the dish by Chef Venkatesh Bhatt. We were doing a festival called the Kakinada Food Festival, and Kakinada is Andhra Pradesh. We can call it the food capital of Andhra. So this dish comes from there, and a very unique twist to it was using a mix of some Kasuri Methi and the fresh Methi, because the Kasuri Methi has some oodles of flavor, okay, and makes it very special, turning golden in color. Okay, and I'm keeping ginger garlic paste ready, and now I'm going to add a nice teaspoon of ginger garlic paste to this. Beautiful golden brown color, and just when it's at this stage, the ginger garlic is also getting cooked. And now we're going to add chopped tomatoes. I have 2 pieces of tomatoes here. After the tomatoes, we add a handful of curry leaves. Saute the curry leaves. Now we add the spice powders. The first that goes in is turmeric. We put half a teaspoon of turmeric, and 2 heaped teaspoons of chili powder and 2 heaped teaspoons of coriander powder. There's more chili going to go into this dish. This is an Andhra dish, so remember it's going to be super hot and spicy. And now we add a spoon of salt, enough to cook all the tomato masala, and I'm going to add a little bit of water just to cook the masala nicely. I want all the tomato to get totally disintegrated as if it was a puree. And now we take this methi, squeeze it out of the yogurt. Now if you want, you could also chop the methi, but it's nice and whole, right? It's very good. And I've just plucked off the stem of the methi, just keep the top of the methi right there. It's important to saute the methi nicely. We're going to fry them in the onion tomato masala. We'll add the kasuri methi right at the end. The methi has nicely sauteed. The oil is separated off from the masala. At any point of time while you're cooking this, if you feel that it is getting stuck to the base of the pan in which you're cooking, you can add a little bit of water. I'm going to show you what happens when you add a little bit of water. Yeah, there. You are able to deglaze anything that is getting stuck to the base, like that. Fantastic. The masala has cooked, the oil has separated out nicely, and now we add all the chicken to this. That's 400 grams of chicken breast. On full flame, we're going to cook this, ensuring that the chicken is seared nicely on all the sides. And a very easy instant dish, a nice Vepudu. Now you have to remember never to put the lid on this, because if you put the lid on this, the chicken will start slow cooking, and then what will happen? It will let out all its juices. So when we sear it, it gets coated from all the sides and all the juices get trapped inside, and that's what we are getting done here. Okay? Now cooking this dish in large quantities can be a little bit of a challenge. We would do it in a kadhai on full flame. This chicken should not take more than 5 minutes to cook. So remember not to overcook it. If you overcook chicken breast, it will become dry. So now I'm going to carefully strain out all the kasuri methi from the yogurt. Yeah, and I'm going to add all of it to the. You can add a little bit of the yogurt as well, no harm. But I am straining off most of it. Mix it together and get ready for the last bit of seasoning that we're going to do to this dish. We're going to add half a teaspoon of black peppercorns, 1 more teaspoon of chili powder. Fantastic dish to be eaten with a nice bichu paratha, which is what they call in Andhra, or a Malabar paratha, or in Tamil Nadu, our good old parota. Now we dish it out and time to taste. Garnish it with some JD Pappu, which is cashew nuts. That's right. So if I had not put the methi, it would have been a traditional Kodi Vepudu. The minute I add methi to it, it became Kodi Menthi Vepudu. So let's go ahead and try. Once your guests are coming, you know, if you want to keep the masala ready, add the chicken right at the end, toss it up and serve it immediately. So here you go. And the juicy chicken breast, loaded with all the flavors. The peppercorn, the methi is not bitter at all. And why? Because we soaked it in yogurt and we squeezed it out. So a fabulous dish. I hope you try this at home and come back to me with your feedback.